Hi guys, that's Black here, and welcome back to my game corner. From my first video on this channel, you know my opinion about mascot horror games, and it's not the best one. I rarely see a mascot horror game that I find at least interesting, but scrolling through YouTube the other day, I found something intriguing. Welcome to Indigo Park. This is a mascot horror game which is right now still in development but has the first chapter already out. So go ahead, go on, play, go. Or, well, you can stay here and listen to me rambling about this game. Yeah, sorry, it wasn't a really funny joke for now, but you'll get the joke a little later. If you watched my first video, you probably remember me talking about my love towards Poppy Playtime and my slight appreciation of FNAF Security Breach. And of course, if you know me, you know that I really try to find something special in every game I see, even if the game is bad. But this game, it didn't need me to search for anything. It was beautiful in every way, like a breath of fresh air in the middle of a busy road. Okay, let's get one thing straight. I would never say that any mascot horror game is comparable to things like Amnesia or Outlast or Cry of Fear or, well, any non-mascot horror game there is. But it can be compared to other mascot horror games. And today, I want to explain why exactly Chapter 1 of Indigo Park presented enough to be a really promising project. Of course, this video is partly my opinion and partly speech about cliché of horror genre, so be warned. If you're not agreeing to something, go ahead and tell me about that in the comments. Okay, let's as always run through the game first. There is not much plot here for now, so I can simply explain it as there was a park for kids, suddenly park closed. We come to the park after many years and now need to restore it. That's all. And it's so simple. To be honest, throughout the game I haven't heard anything about dead employees or any experiments on them, and it made me so happy. There's a feeling like the park stopped working just because it wasn't bringing much money or something, and this simple reason feels much better than any other thing I had heard in other mascot horror games. In the beginning of the game, we see a conversation between us and our friend, probably, or a colleague. In any case, as I said before, we wish to visit long-forgotten Indigo Park, an amusement park for kids, which was closed long ago. I think we play as a journalist or something, or maybe it's just me. But I really like this thought a lot. We also see a newspaper from which we understand that Indigo Park closed suddenly and nobody knows what happened there. Park was just evacuated and closed. Anyways, that's just an intro. Finally, we begin Chapter 1, the only chapter we have for now. Birds of a Feather. It's a beautiful name of a chapter, and soon you'll find out why it's called like that. First off, we need to open the main gate, so we need to go into control room and suddenly meet Rambly the raccoon. He's going to be our companion till the very end of the game. Rambly likes to ramble about everything there is, so he's going to talk for a while. The main thing he's talking about are mostly our tasks for certain area. Here, for example, he says that we need to proceed to the main gate because he will open it, but in the end he can't open it because the main generator is broken, so we need to go back to the control room and restore the generator to open the main gate. And this is practically how the whole game works. Okay, more on that later. Trust me, I have something to say about this. In the next area, we get a critter cuff. It's a special bracelet we can use on certain points to open the doors and pathways. Also, Rambly says that this thing has a pedometer, heart monitor, and also works as a mood ring. I wish one of those could be a mechanic in the game. By the way, looking around the merchandise shop, I found a lot of things I wish to have, to be honest. Mostly with Finley because he's really sweet. Oh, and Rambly's cool too. In any case, this place is a heaven for me. I love toys. Walking forward, we will see a huge bronze statue that looks kinda impressive, not gonna lie. Also, while I was playing the game, I was looking around for collectibles, and in the end, I'll tell you about each one of them. So, next on, Rambly offers us a ride on his railroad. After a little walking back and forth, we finally enter the train. And on this walk, there is nothing. Like, truly. There's not even a simple jump scare. Just a long walk. Though I was waiting for something creepy to happen, to be honest. In any case, we start the ride with Rambly. And since earlier we got introduced to Rambly, now we're gonna be introduced to other mascots of this park. First off, Molly. She's a parrot, a macaw to be exact. And she is a pilot. Rambly says she's a good pilot, but in reality, she crashes pretty often. That's funny. Molly also offers us to visit her rooftop races later. Gonna go there as soon as possible, girl. Next one is Finley. Pretty soft and shy sea serpent. Finley specializes on ocean and ocean creatures, and also has a ride called Oceanic Odyssey. And the dialogue with Finley is a wild ride of dumb jokes and humor, but it's okay, I guess. It's a ride for kids after all. By the way, they say the Oceanic Odyssey is closed for repairs, which is kinda sad, but I feel like this info is either outdated or true because the whole park is under renovations and repairs. In the middle of the road, the train breaks and we need to restore the power. This is the first time we will meet the great and powerful jump scare. Well, that worked actually. I don't know why and how, but I got scared of this bird suddenly talking. In any case, moving forward, we found an old Finley animatronic and a mechanism we need to fix. I really like this Finley. I really want to pet this beautiful guy. After fixing the mechanism, we continue the ride and meet Lloyd the Lion. Oh, I love his design. Look at him. He's so fancy. His voice is also so great, but Rambly seems not to be impressed by Lloyd. It's funny to look at our companion when he meets someone he doesn't consider a friend. Lloyd is an actor and works at the local theater, but Rambly cuts him off in the middle of his speech. The ride ends here. When we get out, we see a booth where we can take photos from our ride. And on one of the photos we see Molly running along the track. She's spying on us. There is also another merch shop. Me and my friends decided that we want this t-shirt, by the way. Sadly, you can't take it. Nah. Coming out of the merch store, we enter the main area of the park. There is a fountain in the middle and a huge Ferris wheel on the background. I really wish to ride this one in the next chapter. Also, there is Lloyd's Theater, but we cannot enter it yet. The game also shows us an info stand where we can learn about the collectibles we collected. But I'm gonna tell about them in the end, just wait a little. Other than that, there is not much here. Some random open shops with collectibles here and there, with some expired food. I spent a little too much time running around, but eventually the script worked and Rambly said that I need to proceed to the theater. Finally, we can enter the theater. It's a really fancy place. A bit dull, I guess, but it actually looks like an old fashionable theater. When we move forward, the light on the stage turns on and we can see a big lion. Lloyd looks like a big scary lion, and on this model, he doesn't have any clothes. Lloyd runs to the back of the stage. Rambly tells us that he cannot see us behind there, so we will have to proceed for the keys by ourselves. Oh, and also I forgot to mention that there is a piano in the corner and it makes cool music. Yeah, this game is that good. It even has music like that. Cool piano music. Anyways, coming back to the backstage. There is whole storage room there. And you would think that Lloyd ran here, there's probably gonna be a chase or something. Well, no, there will be no chase here. Just one jump scare, and if you're curious one like me and always looking around, you can easily miss it. So, it's not a really good jump scare. I still don't understand why they didn't do a camera lock on jump scares, but, well, anyways, we take the keys and touch grass for a while and head on to the exit of the storage room. Lloyd tries to attack us one more time, but something scares him off, so he runs away. Nah, no wonder, he's a pussy after all. When we come out, we can see a shadow of Molly running away. So, okay. We open the gates with the keys and now get to the rooftop races area. This area is also full of different stuff, but the most interesting thing here is this arcade machine. And yeah, you can play a small platforming game on it. There is also a little bit of story here. Molly crashed, again, and we, playing as Rambly, need to find her and check if she's fine. In the game we meet the last known character of the crew, Salem the skunk. As the wiki says, Salem is non-binary, but as I understood, they can be called either they or she, so I'm probably using both of those in the future. Salem is a bad guy here. They're also capable of brewing potions that they use on animals and in the end of the minigame on Molly herself. And also the minigame ends when we defeat Molly Boss. And we will also get a collectible for this. So yeah, anyways, coming back to the main game. We come to rooftop races, but it is destroyed and no one can repair it, so Rambly offers us to check out Molly's landing pad. Molly's landing pad could be a nightmare for some people. I know that there are guys who are afraid of such constructions, but I like it here a lot. There is even a ball pit! Look, I can slide down into it! Yay! Yeah, I had a lot of fun with that. It's really funny, and I like it here. Anyways, after all of fun I had, the game throws at me a little riddle. Well, it's not like a riddle. Well, we need to get through the whole complex and find sort of a password to open the main gate. Also, while we walk and climb around, we can hear footsteps. And you would never guess who's here with us. Yeah, it's Molly. She's hanging out around. Sadly, she won't help us to find a code. But in any case, we will deal with it ourselves. Also, there are bounce pads, which launch us up in the air into higher platforms. This mechanic is also used in the chase sequence a little later. So, we found the whole code, and now need to rotate the cubes so they will show the right symbols and proceed to the next area. And finally, the peak of the game, the chase. Molly is chasing us through the complex, so we need to run through different corridors and jump on bounce pads. The thing here, as far as I know, Molly doesn't have adaptive speed, and she's pretty fast, so if you stopped somewhere, you're probably dead. In any case, the chase is pretty intuitive, but I think you might die once or twice. The jump scare is not that creepy, but the death screen artwork is just... oh, it looks so amazing. I love how it is drawn, and I really like the little tip about Molly being able to repeat something she's heard. However, I don't see it used as a fooling mechanic. I feel like I probably missed it, because while the chase is going, there are many corners and ways you can go to. I thought nothing will happen if we choose the wrong way, except for the beginning of the chase, but apparently I am wrong. In any case, we run into the stuff-only room, and the chase ends. With Molly's death right before our eyes! What the hell was that? Why? What for? There's so much blood here, gosh! This took me completely off guard. For me, it was an unexpected turn of events, and never expected her to die. I mean, usually they're just, are being left behind the door and stuff. Like, mascots are alive at the end of the chase, but here, her head is basically in the room where I'm in. What the hell? And you know what? Don't get me wrong, I loved it. It was an unexpected creepy moment and something I liked to see a lot. Though, I really liked Molly, to be honest. Her design is great, but, well, oh well. Anyways, Rambley says that he tried to make us enjoy our stay, but in the end ruined everything. He offers us to restore and renovate the park. Now we're a rookie wrangler, sort of a staff member. We will be helping Rambley to restore the park. We get out of the staff room and move to the Oceanic Odyssey. There, in the dark aquarium, we can see a huge serpent Finley. And the game ends. With a song? Yes, I'm not even joking, they made a song in the end of this chapter. Will I come back, little Rambley? Of course I will, buddy! After such a thing, I can't just forget you, my dear! So, here's the end of the game. But I haven't talked about collectibles just yet. There are 12 items you can get while running through the chapter 1, and here you can see all of them. Yes, I found and collected all of the collectibles. All of those are different merchandise of the Indigo Park. They all are nothing that special, but you can see their descriptions on the screen. There's a action figure of Rambley in good condition. A random poodle plush, and it should probably be an Easter egg, but I don't know what's that about. In any case, it's not an Indigo product, that's for sure. Rambleberry is a berry we got for completing the arcade game earlier, and it's probably not edible, sadly. I wouldn't recommend to eat it anyways. There is also a souvenir cup. Pretty neat thing if you ask me. I would like to have this one on my table. Next up is Finley plush. Our main character is scared of the size of a sea serpent, but I really like him. But I'm scared of the aquariums. Yeah. They also have a Molly plush toy that looks cute as hell. So the next toy is a golden Rambley plush. And read this description. Oh yeah? It's just a recolor of an original Rambley plush. Is that a joke about FNAF toys or something? This is a good funny thing actually. I really like this comment. Anyways, moving on. We also collected the mask from the Rambley's costume. Well, sort of a Rambley's head. Yeah, it looks kinda creepy actually. The next is a Lloyd plush. Nothing special, just a cute lion plushie. A Rambley plushie, which looks kinda cute, not gonna lie. Rambley's ears, just a little silly hat with Rambley's ears on it. Kind of pretty common thing for amusement parks like that. And the Retro Lloyd plush. This one reminds me of Bendy and the Ink Machine. And to be honest, I don't know if it was an Easter egg for that game or just a little plush in style of old cartoons. Well, in any case, this is all what we have in the game. Now let's talk about what was good in the game and what are its flaws. Let's start with good, shall we? First, the elephant in the room. Designs. Characters have a very good and memorable design. They fit really well into the old amusement park atmosphere and look pretty cute. Big figures and animatronic versions around the park are also pretty neat. The only thing here is the model design for Lloyd. He looks a little off, to be honest, although he had one of the best cardboard designs in my opinion. Overall designs look amazing and have that childish feel to them. Maybe they're not that scary when they're haunting you, but they certainly are good in terms of design. Voices of the characters are also really good. They sound sweet and I really enjoyed to listen to Rambley's ramble throughout the game. He maybe talks much, but it's a pleasant thing to hear. Other characters also have really good voices, especially my boy Finley. It's sad that we don't hear how Salem talks, but maybe they'll make an appearance in later chapters. I wish to hear them so bad, to be honest. The whole park itself is also pretty good in terms of design. Different attractions, booths, even merch stores. It looks really good, but maybe a bit too linear, but it still feels like an amusement park. Also, sound design and music in the game are also pretty nice. Maybe it doesn't have the scariest chase theme, but it's certainly a good OST. Not just that, but the game also has a fucking song in the end. And the piano music is really good and cute. Just right for the theater like that. Other sounds in the game are pretty good too, but I think the game lacks some occasional creepy sounds to make the atmosphere more tense. Also, I really want to say that the game looks pretty cool in terms of visuals, and the animation is just amazing. I have not much to say here, but to tell you that I like it a little bit too much. The first chapter includes a crap ton of different cliches of mascot horror games, but some of them are changed into something different. I already told you that I got kinda scared after I saw how Molly died, and this is one of my favorite moments. Most of the time, mascot horror games don't kill their mascots in the first chapter, but this one does, and it does it really brutally. I really like this scene and how it is shown, though there's still a small cliche that the door closes at the last second. Other than that, all the things we got here are pretty neat. Now we know all of the characters, except for one, have seen the majority of them, and in general have a picture of what we'll get in a full game. Also, I wanted to say that there are no bugs or glitches in the game. I'm not a tester or anything, but like, nothing glitched, except for the parts that should be glitching. And I know the game was checked for bugs, but I managed to break several good games in my day, I'm just saying. Oh, and I forgot to say that although so far I do enjoy the story, I just hope it won't come back to the general shit like, those animals are souls of the employees transformed into horrific creatures, and some shit like that. Like, I got pretty tired of that plot cliche in the past years. In any case, I'm pretty hyped up about this game, so I'm gonna wait for the future chapters. Oh, and I really wanted to say that I want to print on the wall with this death screen. Best thing I have ever seen, looks amazing. Now let's talk about the cons of the game. Well, let's begin with the obvious one. The game is really linear and it pisses me off sometimes. Like here, look, we're in a huge center of the park or some shit. Of course, I see a theater and I want to go there because it's first thing that caught my eye. But no, you can't go there until you talk to Rambly and get access to the door. Okay, here's the thing about the access, I get it, but here, for example, what happened here? What exactly broke so hard to block off the entrance? I haven't seen anything that could break like that. And, like, of course, it breaks the minute we get inside of the area. I know it's needed so the player wouldn't go back, but, like, really, why not give the opportunity if the player would want to go back? And if you really want to block off the exit, why not find another way? There are many ways of doing so it won't look silly. Okay, now let's talk about the chase sequence. First off, it's fine, yeah, but why is Molly so fast? Okay, maybe not like the fastest thing ever, but at this point of the chase, you'll probably die at least once. Fusion Z Gamer died even more times than I did, so I thought something might be wrong with the speed of the character. Maybe the developers already made her slower, but I haven't found it in bug fixes and patches, so I'm not sure. In any case, she might be a bit too fast, and she certainly doesn't have adaptive speed as far as I know, but maybe I'm wrong, so you can tell me about that in the comments. Second, sometimes there is not enough music on the background, like some sort of the ambience that you could have on the locations. There is mostly none here, but most of the time it is what makes the tension. In some cases, this makes you feel a little more scared than simple footstep sounds here and there. So it would be really good if there was some ambient sound. It would perfectly fit this part. And you have a perfect opportunity to change the music here after it cuts off. Since in the next chapter we would have a whole oceanic area, it would be perfect for calming underwater-like sound. Being a guy with thalassophobia, I would probably die in the corner if there will be some ambient music like that. Don't know if I can call it a con, but some of the models look a bit strange in terms of design. Like, you see what character is that, but they're kinda different from the original designs of the characters. For example, here Molly has wing hands and her model has sort of claws. Lloyd has the strangest model of them all. He doesn't have his clothes on and he doesn't look like Lloyd, if you get what I'm talking about. It's a small thing, but it makes the whole lots of difference. Speaking of visuals, I need to say that in some places the game is pretty dark, so sometimes you can't see things you would really want to see. Though that's fixable. There is also a thing about transitions. The loading screens pop up pretty sudden and it sometimes feels out of nowhere. It made me laugh a little a couple of times, mostly because it's kinda goofy when the screen fades to black and the loading screen pops up. And the last thing, the game has a lot of cliché things which are typical for the genre. It's not like a con, mostly because the developer made them look different from the regular mascot horror stuff, but it didn't make the game scary or anything, which is pretty sad. I hope the game will develop into something more creepy in the end. As far as I know, it can, so I'll wait until the future release. Talking about my opinion, I think you already understood that I had fun playing the game. There will be no funny footage at the end, sorry, but I still had fun. It wasn't like scary, but it was interesting to play. I really liked Rambly and Finley, my favorite characters so far, and Rambly is my Kenny, I swear. I liked the designs, I liked the overall gameplay, and I loved the retro platforming game on the arcade machine. So yeah, I enjoyed the experience, thanks Rambly, I'll come back. Hope the game will develop into something more interesting. After all, it's a mascot horror, and a good one. Good luck on the development if you're watching this, by the way. Anyways, consider supporting the developers using the links below, and also, please don't forget to like and subscribe. And if you think this channel deserves more, don't forget to share this video and/or write a comment with your opinion about the game. Thanks a lot for watching. Have a great one. Bye.